everyone. Thank you so much for joining back to the TechNet vlog. I hope you're having a great day. And also thank you for joining on this first step to 5 steps preparing you for CBAP. And yes, just as a reminder, I'm not paid by PMI or even IBA or even Scrum.org. I'm just sharing my knowledge. And yes, hoping that this becomes your one-stop hub for everything PMP, IBA, or even your Scrum exams. Now, let's go to the icebreaker. See yourself at that point of confusion that you don't even know where to start with your exams, preparing for your exams, or even kickstarting your career. And you come across a Taking It vlog, or even come across any resources online, and you gain that, confidence or that knowledge that you need to start. And you join your study group, you go to the library to study, you create a study plan, and that you come to that level of confidence to go for your exam. And at the end, you ace your exam and you're excited about it. Now, yeah, that is your road to success. Topics we are going to discuss: life before CBAP. What is it? What was it like for me, even for you out there before CBAP? You ask yourself this question: reality check before CBAP, importance considerations before CBAP, common mistakes that you could be overlooking, how I prepared myself for the exam, and step 2. So these, I call it the LY2X. Looking at life before CBAP, yes, I was doing the job. I even at the beginning, earlier years of my career, I didn't have it like as a job description, but I was already, even up until like I was already collecting requirement, that is elicitation. I was already planning on stakeholder meetings, and I was already doing requirement cycle management, and so on and so forth, monitoring and evaluation. And like I was already like doing the job. And I at a point, I wanted to know more. I'm an inquisitive person. I wanted to know more. I wanted to be competitive in the job market. I wanted to negotiate, better. And each time I even like want to like let's say accelerate or elevate, I'm being asked for the CBAP certificate. And I'm like, okay, at this point, I think that I need this. And why did I go for CBAP? As a result of all this, like life before CBAP was good, but I wanted something more. So why you should consider CBAP too? Maybe you want more money, you want to negotiate more, you want to be competitive in the job market, you want to know more, you want to have that sense of belonging, you want to like broaden your horizon. Okay. And you say, okay, I think that this is a good step towards my career also. Then skill set to develop. Yes, before you go for CBAP, you need to develop the skill set. They are very important. That is your time management, because you need to invest time. Your ability to sit for long for the exam, or even preparing for the exam, you need to sit for long. Mindfulness, you have to be attentive. Principled. For the exam, you need to be principled. You need to keep to IBA's rules and regulation. And at the same time, you need to be principled with your time, with yourself, with everything you do, so that you prepare yourself for the exam. Mental health, you have to keep this in check. Attention to details, you have to pay close attention to details, because you need only also to see business analysis in what you do. And even as you read Babok, you also need to see what you do in Babok. And at the same time, as you do simulators, you need to pay attention to details, the way they ask questions, on all those online resources that you come across. Now, looking at reality check before CBAP, we need to be realistic. You need to ask yourself some questions so that you are sure that, is this really what I want for myself? Ensure you need the certification. So at this point, you ask yourself the difference between need and want. Now, what would this certification do for you? So we match these two. Ensure you need the certification. Like, some people go for certification because they are already on the job and they want to, the continuous learning and development thing. Some people are not on the job and they want to get into a particular role and they need that certification, because even in their current role, they are already doing that. So that would help them elevate. So we do things for certain reasons, and you don't want to do stuff because so people are doing it, and you don't want to be all over the place. You don't want a situation whereby you need a PMP certification and you are going for a BA certification because people are going for it. So ensure you need this. What will it do for you? This is an app question. So when I get a certification, or if I get it at the end, what will it do for me? Is it a good investment? Is it something that will help my career to blossom? Is it something that will put me where I want, and so on and so forth? So also resources. You need to consider, or you need to be realistic with the fact that you are going to make so much of a sacrifice in terms of time. You invest your time. Do you have that time? Invest your money, or your office. They will be paying for it. Is it worth it? Energy, you have to put a lot of energy in this space. You need to build a space around you. Work, you may need to take out some time from work. Have you used or spent your holidays already? Family, you need to maybe have a talk with your family members that, oh, I'm going for this, and stuff like that, so that they would support you one way or the other. Social life, you need to cut down or even pedal on your social life. Mental or psychological, you need to put your mental health in check, because a lot of it would be put into strain here. Join a community. At this point, you have to, learn to reach out, learn to talk to people, learn to be active on those platforms where you have people sharing resources, on exams, okay, a plan, or even like templates and so on and so forth. Yeah, and I hope this is important to someone. And if it is, please subscribe. Then considerations before CBAP. There are certain considerations you need to, like look at. You need to think about, have it at the back of your mind. And that is one, eligibility. IBA would require you to be eligible for the exam. So you have to have BA experience. You have to have some number of work hours. There are so many of them that you can find those on the IIBA website. Also, exam expectations. There are some expectations from the exam from you, from for the exam from you, and you need to keep to those. So you need to have an idea of the exam expectations, what you need to do, even while taking the exam, what is expected of you. Like, I know that you're not supposed to be in a noisy environment, you're not supposed to move your head, and so on and so forth. So you need to have an idea. And even while you are studying, you need to position yourself in such a way that as though you are practically taking the exam. So that means you should practically prepare yourself for the exam. I hope that makes sense. Understanding of IBA's application process. So IBA has an application process, like just like any other examination or body there. So it is a rigorous one, and you're expected to know what to do, so that when you apply for the exam, to take the exam, it is not rejected. So online simulators, you also consider the fact that you need to purchase online simulators, or you need to, research online simulators where you can practice, so that you get used to the exam, and so on and so forth. So no IBA's babok. I'm going to speak about this later on, but you have to know IBA's babok in and out, cover to cover, line by line. Honestly, I don't joke about this, but if you're going to take an exam, and that is, I like IBA, please don't compare IBA and PMI. They are different. Yes, they are IT in different ways, but they are, when it comes to taking their exams, or when it comes to their requirement and stuff, they are different. So it is advisable, it is recommended to know IBA's babok. Continuing with the considerations, class experience. Consider the fact that you need class experience. This would not only help to prepare you for the exam, it will help to motivate you, help your networking skills, even help to test you. You act even in the process of committing to going for an online class or a physical class, asking yourself questions are like, do I want to do this? Am I ready for this? So make a plan. Please, you can't do it without this. You have to make a plan towards this exam. It's a great commitment. Study group. Also, some online classes, even after the classes, would help you people form a study group. So also consider joining those study groups, because they would help to motivate you and keep you in check. Self-study. Yes, you have to consider the fact that you give enormous amount of hours to self-study. Expose yourself to as many materials as possible. Yes, IBA and PMI. Sorry, I'm comparing IB and PMI all the time, but they are different like exams, different bodies. So when I was taking my PMI or PAP exam, I didn't find it challenging sourcing for information. But that of IIB, I found challenging because there were so much, and at the same time, like they were here, there, and there. So, you just expose yourself to all these, then streamline to the ones you need. Conquer your fears. To be honest with you, there will be fears. Fears of fear of failing, studying babok. Yeah. First of all, you need to conquer the fear of failing the exam. What I ask myself is each time I want to take the exam or each time I want to prepare for an exam, what is the worst that would happen? I want to gain knowledge. I also want to, expose myself and stuff like that. So, what is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you fail it, right? And you take it again. Honestly, by the time you ask yourself this question, every fear of failing goes away because it's something you can overcome. And another thing is studying Babok. The sight of Babok can be scary. The first sight of or even yes, so you need to conquer that fear that I can do this. Now, investment. Yes, the fear of investment. I know the fact that you want to gain more from investing, but in this one, you have time, you have to invest time, you have to invest money, you have to invest so many things. So consider those things and you have to conquer those fears, you know. CBA in all that you do, it helps. Consider seeing BA in everything you do. Remember, I said two things. You may be doing the job already. You may have it as a job description, as a job role. You may be doing it, but you don't really have it as a job description, or even as a job role. But this like every day you see yourself doing these things. And yes, let's even not leave it up there. Let's bring it down. Even at home, you collect requirement. For example, you are out of stock, right? Your pantry and stuff, and you go and make a list of what you are out of stock with. You are collecting what you need. I don't know if I make sense. And at a point, you need something in particular, and you want to do so. I'm just trying to like demystify business analysis for you, so that you see it in even what you do at home, your simple life. So when you study babok, when you are working, when you go about your different daily activities, see business analysis in all that. And yes, one step at a time, you would definitely get there. It takes a lot of stress, but one step at a time, you will get there. So initial mistakes you must avoid. Yeah, not having a study plan. Please, they say, when you don't plan, you plan to fail. So the first thing is you have to have a plan. A plan is like a roadmap that you need to follow. So please don't make this mistake. Not starting class early enough. If you intend to take this exam by December, please start your class early enough so that you have enough time to get a breather, then study, then take your exam. So don't, because the Babok or even CBAP or whatever is broad. So you don't want to start with the third week or the second week. You'll be overwhelmed. Another thing is not setting priorities right. So before you start the class, please set your priorities right before the class regarding the timeline for study and exam immediately after class. Let me take this again. Not setting priorities right before the class regarding the timeline for study and exam immediately after class. So even before you start that class, please set your priorities right. Know when you want to start studying, know when you want to take the exam, okay, after the class, so that you are not here and there, not revising after each class. Please, after each class, try and revise. Try as much as possible to go back to what you have done for that day. In fact, if it's a class that is recorded and they send you the recording, like, when you are, instead of listening to music, listen to those recordings. It helps a lot. Leaving for a while and coming back to study. Yes, this happened to me. After the class, I was like, this is too much information. I am already doing the work. I can't deal with this. I abandoned the class for months. When I say for months, then when I came back to it, it was as though I was learning to crawl, I was learning to walk, and I was overwhelmed. You don't want that to happen to you. Now, how I prepared myself for CBAP, the first thing was to overcome my fear, fear of failing, loss of investment, and so on and so forth. In fact, that's why I said you have to put your mental health, your psycho, like in check. It will bring anxiety. It will bring so many things. In fact, I'm going to talk about those in the next chapters. Reading the Bible, please. Don't give, I would love to allow this as much as possible, but don't give in to, don't read the test. We have summarized it for you. Don't try it. Please, you have to read the Bible cover to cover, line by line. I read the Bible more than twice before the exam. Like I had to read it twice before the exam. And, it was so read reading the Bible. Don't give in to. Don't read the test. We have summarized it for you. Will see a lot of that. Please don't give in to that. Read the Bible by yourself. Understand it. You have resources online to help you understand it. Believing in yourself. That is why I put these two together. When you read the Bible, it gives you confidence. It opens your eyes, your mind. In fact, you would enjoy reading it more than anyone summarizing it for you. That is also why I said consider class. Because when you consider class, the class helps to explain it for you or to you. Then when you're now reading the Bible, it makes more sense, you see. Believing in yourself, it is very important that you believe in what you can do and not what someone can do for you. Try to reach out to those who may have taken the exam and ask questions. You have to learn to network because you need to ask them the study plan, the resources they use to study, and stuff like that. Was taking the exam worth it? Absolutely, 100%. Even though I felt confident even before the exam, I felt even I now I feel even more confident after taking the exam. And yeah, I'm more competitive in the job market and all that. Life after CBAP feels awesome. Now, and let's dive into part two, which will be in the next episode. So these mistakes could cost you a senior exam. That is your CBAP exam. CBAP do's and don'ts. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was of help to you. And if yes, please kindly subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I can't wait to see you in a part two, which will be packed, like packed, packed, packed. Have a great day. Bye.